Yes, welcome to FootyWit podcast. My name is Ehis Anthony, and we're here again to talk about football. You know, like we always do. We love talking about football and we love football. I'm not here alone. It's a full house today, man. And we have the latest daddy in town. Chimamaka, what's up?
Hello, guys. It's good to be back. And it's good to it's good to be a dad, man. I love the feeling. I love the feeling.
Yes. It's so good to be a dad. And Dipo is back again to talk football with us.
Good evening, everybody. Thanks for having me back once again. I'm coming to do what I think I love doing best. But hey, we hope we make pay out of this day one day.
Very important.
Ope, what's up? Representing us now. Wearing I love Liverpool. I don't get, man.
Look, I'm not wearing an Arsenal jersey. You can clearly see. I love Liverpool, man.
Yes, we can clearly see, but we know you're an Arsenal fan. But I don't know why you're putting on the Liverpool jersey, though. But
I don't know what he's talking about. Y'all can see my shirt.
Are you serious? Really?
It happens when your team is in ninth position. You can deny.
Sorry, I can't relate. I'm sorry, I can't relate. So.
I understand. But quick one before we move on, you know the drill. Yes, FootyWit podcast in support of No Room for Racism. Kick out racism. We don't want racism in the game that we love. And also, there's just an important notice to put out to our football lovers out there. There is a competition in town. You know, grassroots competition organized by Lagos State Grassroots Soccer Association. This is the 4th edition actually, and it's proudly sponsored by the chief himself, the numero uno, the CEO of Codville Business Solution, Dr. Adebola Ismail Akindele. I think the competition starts tomorrow, right?
Yeah, it kicks off tomorrow at 2 p.m. St. Michael's FC versus Shooting FC kicks off the tournament. It's going to happen at Ojo Onihun Center in Oyingbo, Yaba, Lagos.
Okay.
The 2 games tomorrow. Another game will be kicking off at 4 p.m. just after that. Hope to be there. To watch these youngsters show us what they are made of. Like I said, it's the 4th edition. So
yeah.
We just it continues to grow, and basically the ladies are not left out. So it's under 15 women,
the ladies are there
under
too.
15 girls, and under 15 boys.
Yeah.
The boys have 24 teams, while the girls have 16 teams. 16 teams broken into 4 groups. While the guys have 6 groups, Group A to F. But the finals will be on the 11th of July. 2021.
2021.
So it spans for 2 months. Yeah. So
the final will be at Campus Mini Stadium, Ajele. Right?
Yeah. As always. Remember that stadium now?
Yes, sir.
Our Codville FC matches.
You know, the good thing is we could say that we are part of this competition one way or the other because we knew when the first edition happened, and it's so good that we could see how the progression is. This is the 4th edition, and it seems the competition don't have that media coverage. That's why we're using this our platform to give it that a bit so that people can notice the competition. And we've seen stars being brought out or being birthed out of this competition. The other time they said a lady that played for Falcons, Golden Falconet, sorry. Her name again, can't remember her name. I think her name was mentioned.
And the guy too, I think the guy was part of Golden Eaglets too.
Yeah, so this competition has graced. Yeah, her name is Esther Onyedike. She's currently playing for Robo FC, and this competition has graced good players that have graduated or have gone into the under 17 and also progressed into greater heights. But like I said, we'll use this our medium to give this competition the media hype. Like Dipo said, it starts tomorrow at the stadium again, Dipo?
Ojo Onihun at Oyingbo, Yaba, Lagos.
Yeah, so it's good opportunity for scouts. If you're out there, you want
I thought Ope was a scout.
Yeah, well, to an extent, but you know what? I think for me, grassroots football is something that we all look forward to. So, I mean, it's a good opportunity. Definitely looking forward to looking for those youngsters. Probably the next Okocha, the next Iwobi, the next Adebari, definitely. So, we're looking forward to it. And we need more of this, actually. I'm happy that competition like this is happening. I don't think we have so much of this. And I mean, I'm glad to see that it has good backing, good sponsorship.
Yeah.
Definitely, we need more of this.
Yeah, we need more.
Nigeria, not just in Lagos. We need it in Nigeria.
Nigeria as a whole.
Nigeria as a whole, yeah.
Coming.
Yeah.
And do stuff.
So we'll be with this competition. We'll be giving updates on FootyWit podcast concerning how the competition, the fixtures, where it has gotten into, and the final. Definitely, we will sing. We'll do a sing song or we'll do a swan song. Am I right? Which one is right? About
What you say is that's it.
yeah, we definitely do. So moving on straight, Manchester City are champions 2021 Premier League season. Manchester United had to do the honors. Chimamaka.
Well, congratulations to Manchester City for nicking it. Thanks to Manchester United for not stretching them a little. Well, I would have actually loved them to stretch Manchester City a little, just a little, at least to the end of the season. But well, they did what they could do best by letting them get this thing. Well, truth be told, it has been a Manchester City race all along, and credit to Pep Guardiola and his players. I think in the past few years, this has been the Manchester City under Guardiola that has proven doubters wrong. Why am I saying so? They happen to be in the Champions League finals, and it is something that is beautiful to see, actually.
Yeah,
so
finally, it broke the jinx. It broke the jinx for
eventually.
It has always been quarterfinal, and this time around it broke the jinx and it's getting to the final for Manchester City. Actually,
it's a good one. It's actually a good one. So credit to them. They are champions. We look up to the next season.
Dipo, I know as a Manchester United fan, it's kind of like. You felt hot, man.
Yeah. Chimamaka just said it well. If you look at the game against Leicester City, it was always going to be Manchester City's day at the end of 90 minutes because he put out a very weak inside, and it's quite understandable for you to play such things when you know you have about 3 or 4 games to play within 6 days. You have to spread the joy across all players. It's painful that it happened. Then Liverpool now messed the whole thing up by beating Manchester United again yesterday.
Yeah, yesterday.
Losing to it, but we know our home form has been horrible. It's been very bad. No, not horrible, but at least it hasn't been great. We've been doing better away from home. So I was just saying how I wish we were playing those games away from home. We probably would have just stalled the party for City till this weekend, probably. Well, congratulations to Man City. Congratulations to Pep Guardiola. It shows the good work he's been doing. At least he's been able to bring success, whatever success, whether it's the Tray, FA Cup, Carling Cup, League. Now he's gotten to the big one, and I don't know. As a Manchester United fan, I'm praying both teams could lose, but at the end of the day, one has to win.
Yeah.
And I'll prefer it's a Manchester City win. I prefer it's a Manchester City because Chelsea. If Chelsea wins, it means they're close. Say
that with your heart beating your chest and say you want Manchester City to win. You are sure about that?
Because if Chelsea wins, it means that you have 2 and you are 1 behind Manchester United. You guys are too close.
If Chelsea should win, it is good because we have 5 teams playing in the Champions League next season. So it's an advantage for EPL team.
That's not my concern. I'm only bothered about Manchester United. So
I'll prove you wrong.
There was a time Manchester City, when they started the season, they flopped. They lost games at home, dropped points, and the class at which they've been able to go through this past 20 games. Because if you look at it, this past 20 games won them the league. Looking at the beginning of this, the first 10 games, they were shaky. First 10, 15 games, they were shaky. They were nowhere to be found. At this season, 10 different teams, had been at the very top of the season.
Exactly.
There's certain team, because of the letter of the alphabet, definitely they will start from the beginning of the season. Yeah, so that is Ope's team.
I really don't know what he's talking about.
Yeah, but what can you say about what Guardiola have been able to do with this Manchester City team?
You know, really, I believe Manchester City's success this season is down to Pep Guardiola. You know, towards the back end of the 2019-20 season, the way they came out of the Champions League, the way they lost to Lyon, I believe that was down to Pep Guardiola. And then coming into this season, he knew that he had a point to prove. You know, this was a manager that was probably down on morale, personal confidence, because some of his tactics seemed not to be working, you know. So he had to dig deep into himself. And then when he rediscovered himself, he pushed on that energy to his players. And then you could see the reinvention of so many players. I mean, there were times when Manchester City played games without the likes of Kevin De Bruyne, Sergio Kun Aguero, Gabriel Jesus. But then this team was still ruthless. You could then see the world-class status of some of these players coming out. I'm talking about the likes of Ruben Dias. I'm talking about Ederson. I'm talking about Rodrigo. I'm talking about Gundogan. I'm talking about Raheem Sterling, Riyad Mahrez, and obviously the youngster Phil Foden. This Manchester City squad is a star-studded squad. And what I love the most about this team is that irrespective of who plays, they get the job done. There are a lot of times, there are a lot of times in the FA Cup and the Carabao Cup where Zach Stefan, the deputy goalkeeper, where he made some costly errors, but Pep Guardiola still stuck with him. He told him that, look, these competitions are for you. Ederson has the Champions League and Premier League on lockdown, but then these games are for you because you are here to compete. So a lot of positives going around in that Manchester City squad. Also, the former outcasts came back into the team. I'm talking about someone like John Stones and Alexander Zinchenko. These were players that were struggling for game time, but then they came back into the team stronger from injury, and they made a valuable impact in this team. So you know what? It's a job well done to Manchester City, but I must say a job well done to Pep Guardiola.
Yeah, job well done. And we see the fight for the other spots. I think Manchester United, they have it already. The second position, and Leicester City, Chelsea, West Ham, Liverpool. It's a tussle in that space. Chimamaka, I know Chelsea is part of the team that is fighting for that Champions League spot. What's your take on the fight for the top four?
Well, it's not done yet. It's not done for. I can give it all. I can give it all to Manchester United for on the second spot, but for the third, fourth, and fifth is going to be a long tussle to the end of the season. What every other team on that log is looking for is for one person to slip up, and the moment there is a slip up, someone else is taking advantage of it. So as it stands, we have just, I think, 2 points between the third position and the fourth position. You have 2 points between the fourth and the fifth. You have 1 point between fifth and the sixth. So you realize it's not going to be an easy ride. We saw Liverpool yesterday do wonders at Old Trafford, and it was a beauty to behold. In fact, I loved what I saw. But still, we won't forget about West Ham as well, who have been the wonders of this season, in my own opinion. Because if you are going to talk about Leicester City, they were there last season. At the end of the season, they slipped out of the top four and jumped into the Europa League spot. But for this season, we are seeing West Ham, who are ready to battle it out all through the end of the season to nick a top four, and it is doable. It all depends on whoever slips up. Yes, as a Chelsea fan, I don't expect Chelsea at this position, at this point in the season, to slip up on the top four. Leicester City, if you look at them, those guys are firing on all cylinders. There are times here against the game against Newcastle where they had to sit back and got found out. Newcastle decided to take them out, and it was a wonderful game. I wouldn't lie to you. I was thinking Chelsea would take advantage of that by beating Arsenal, but well, we gifted.
Arsenal did the double. Over Chelsea.
Yeah, we
should be happy with that. Man. You should be happy for that. Arsenal did the double over.
He's a Liverpool fan. He doesn't need to talk as it is. So, well, according to what I was saying, yeah, Arsenal did a double good, but I would have expected Chelsea to actually take advantage of the slip up by Leicester City to stand in third position. So it only means that whoever slips up as it stands, we have just 2 games left for some teams to the end of the season. Some have 3 games. So whichever team slips up as it stands would lose the top 4 spots. So everybody needs to buckle up. 2 games to the end of the season.
Dipo, looking at West Ham's remaining fixtures, they play Brighton over and Albion.
Yeah.
They play West Brom away matches, and finally at home they play Southampton. Do you think West Ham could drop points in these games? Because we saw the last game against Everton at home, they were kind of drabby. They couldn't even go for the kill. I think they lost that game. Did they? They lost to Everton at home.
Yes. Yeah,
1-0, 1-0.
1-0.
They lost, right?
1-0.
Yeah.
So do you see West Ham being the guy to lose that fight for the top 4?
Oh, well, if you look at it objectively, on paper, the 3 teams that they're playing West Brom, they're playing Brighton, and they're playing Southampton. Brighton and Southampton seem to they are safe. And West Brom is out. Nothing to play for. So yeah, I think West Ham, if they don't take their chances against these guys, they should forget it. Then again, I think Chelsea and Leicester City have too much grip to let it slip. Basically, I think they both should pull through. But the problem might be Liverpool. That Liverpool have 3 games to go. They have 2. And if you look at it, Chelsea will be playing Leicester City, but. Liverpool beat Manchester United, but I'm not trusting them to win all 3 games left. Yeah, essentially. So West Ham, Liverpool, I think they're out of the equation, but we'll find out how it goes. I think West Ham have it all to play for.
In addition to what Dipo is saying, well, I wouldn't just give it all out. You won't just strike out West Ham as it stands. Why? I'll tell you, against Brighton, Brighton wouldn't be having their captain Luis Dunk, who's on the red card. If you can remember that.
Yeah.
So they are West Ham is of advantage in that game. Now we have a Njoku who Ehis is not a friend to, who has actually decided to drag this period. So they don't have that point man who is going to do the job. So West Ham City has an advantage. Now going to Leicester City. Leicester City is playing against Chelsea. I don't want to believe Chelsea is going to let that slip up.
Okay.
I believe they'll be fighting for the 3 points. Then Leicester still has to face Tottenham in their last game. So it is going to be a tussle for Leicester City. I don't know how they're going to do it, but I don't think Chelsea will gift them 3 points.
What's the name for Tottenham? Tottenham, do they have the Europa slot in the bag yet, or they're still struggling to pick it?
They are still struggling to keep it. They are struggling. Exactly. They are struggling to pick a ticket. So as it is, I don't see Tottenham allowing that also go. But Leicester City has been Leicester City. They've defied all odds and they've remained there up till 2 games to the end of the season, and they can cause an upset even against Chelsea. Like, no, it's what I'm saying. I'm remembering that. I don't want to believe that Brendan Rodgers would make the same mistake he made last season. It's football. These guys are hungrier.
It's not the one that will have to step up. It's the players that have to step up.
Yeah, though.
Hopefully, senior man will drag them through.
Yeah, because there's something peculiar about the Europa League situations right now. From 5th position to 8th position, they can all make the Europa League. This is what I love the most about the English Premier League. Look, it goes down to the wire. It's down to the last day. So, you know what? Leicester in a good position, the same way they were in a good position last season. They could have finished in a Champions League position, only for them to just give away.
But it's going to be difficult for them to let go this season, man. It will be difficult. It will be difficult for Leicester.
Because because Leicester has been in good form. Kelechi Iheanacho has been in good form. He has been spearheading the attack for them since the second half of the season. So, they don't really have an excuse. They have a very good team. Squad depth and quality is fantastic for a Leicester City squad, as far as I'm concerned. And But then again, it's going to be difficult. West Ham is not going to relent. West Ham is not going to relent at all. So it's left to Spurs and Arsenal to really give these teams a run for their money. Don't forget Everton. Everton is in the mix as well, you know. So look, definitely it's going to be down to the wire. I think till the last day of the season, we will not really know who is going to qualify for the Europa League.
What's your take on, still on York, where Everton? We see they have one game at hand, but you know how crazy it is in EPL. If you don't play that one game at hand, you don't have the 3 points. Do you see them fighting till the last day? Just a few seconds to answer that.
Well, this is my problem with Everton. They seem to be really inconsistent this season. You know, it's inconsistency has been the order of the day for them. So either it's individual errors or the team just lacking that extra energy needed to, you know, give 110%. It's going to be difficult. I can't predict with Everton. Anything can happen.
Okay, so there was this story in the media. I don't know if you guys heard about it. Is it Gary Neville? Oh no, sorry, Micheal Owen that was giving analysis about assists and a striker, and he made his point known that the striker definitely takes. Guys, please correct me if I'm wrong, but what I understood by what he was saying was the striker will definitely take the credit over whoever gives an assist. Is that correct?
Yeah, he's right. I actually saw the post.
Yeah,
I saw the post, and I saw Cesc Fabregas.
Yeah, Cesc Fabregas. He clapped back immediately, man. That guy, what are you saying? That do you know what it takes for you to do that pinpoint pass to find you the striker? So I just want us to share our opinion on it on the FootyWit podcast today on this Football Gist episode. What you take? Would you credit a striker over the midfielder that gives the assist? Some strikers do give assists as well. We've seen Harry Kane do that this season. I think he has close to 10 assists this season, over 10 assists this season.
Yeah, correct.
So in the context of assists and scoring, which I'm not trying to put you guys in the hot seat. There's no wrong or right answer. Just flow with it. Chimamaka, starting with you first.
Yeah, I would. There is so much to this, and there's so much answers to give in this regard. First, we're talking about the strikers. The striker has his duties. Now, talk about those who are providing assists. Assists can come either from the midfielders or even from the goalkeepers. Now, it only takes the intelligence of whoever is distributing that ball to locate the striker. Let's not forget, there are those who play their games in the midfield. Example, Cesc Fabregas, Mesut Ozil. These are guys who think before they put their boots on the ball.
They think ahead. Yeah.
I don't know if you understand. So you can, it is in this dispensation that we have that strikers now go to meet those assist providers to celebrate with them for scoring the goals. If it was then when you just score, you just jubilate and forget about those who gave you the assist. But now they are recognizing the assist providers now, because it takes more than talent to be able to provide that. We have seen Juan Mata do that. We have seen David Silva do that. We have seen Cesc Fabregas do that. We have seen Harry Kane. We have seen Fernandez do that. We have seen so many of these guys. we have seen many of these guys do this thing. So now, if talking about this, we know they give credit to the strikers. Let's not forget that it is not every of these wonderful assists that the strikers take advantage of. So, in this regard, I will tell you that I will share this 50-50, which means I'm not going to rate anybody better than the next man. Because if I didn't give you a pinpoint assist, you are not guaranteed to actually score it. I hope you know that. But let's not forget the assist will be pinpoint. So it is now something we should look at as well. So credit to strikers, also credit to midfielders or assist providers. It is a wonderful game. That is why they play in different positions of the pitch and they do their job and do it well. So credit to every one of them. There's no better person. Every one of them are doing their job.
Dipo, your take.
Well, I'll slightly be controversial with this one. I mean, because first things first, I've always wanted to be a striker, so I'll give credit to the strikers. Yeah, good points, Chimamaka. But if whatever the assist, whatever kind of assist it is, the striker has to score. If he does not score,
The assist is a fail.
Who gets the blame? The striker, and the striker gets the blame.
Yeah.
So it should be 50-50, but I'll make it 51-49. At the end of the day, Yakubu comes to mind. South Africa 2010.
Yeah, South Africa 2010. Yeah.
2010 against.
What else would the assist guy have done better? He gave him a good pass. Just buried the ball into his net. It was a problem. So if he had scored, Yakubu would have been the hero. And he lost it now, we can't forget it. Do you understand?
Yeah, true.
Yeah,
true.
The assist guys must have a lot of them, like you mentioned, Fabregas, Ozil, advanced passes that you would have thought of before you even got onto the pitch. They are great guys when it comes to passing balls. But the striker still has to finish for a goal to come to life. And if the goal does not come to life, we start the cycle all over again. So 51% striker, 49% assist maker. So it can be Henderson, it can be Fabregas, but I just think the striker is the most important for me.
Just wanted to touch on that Yakubu Ayegbeni. When it was in Portsmouth, Arsenal
Mention the name in full.
going that season unbeaten, that last game. Yakubu, I don't know if you guys remember that game. Yakubu Ayegbeni had a one-on-one with Jens Lehmann and played it into the hands of Jens Lehmann. It was a 1-1 draw, and as at 91st minute, Yakubu Ayegbeni was 1-on-1 with Ayegbeni. That could have spoiled Arsenal's unbeaten run that season, that 2003-2004 season. So, you know...
What if Yakubu got the alert just about the time it was about to hit the ball? Just saying.
Who would have sent an alert at that period?
You know, so this thing about strikers really having to score. I think Dipo is right on that. But Ope, just your touch on this, Micheal Owen's analysis.
Well, okay, so first of all, Micheal Owen is a striker, and then Cesc Fabregas, who came with the club back, is a world-class midfielder. So you can understand where both of them are coming from. And with all due respect to Micheal Owen, he was a very, very good striker in his prime. You know, so Micheal Owen understands where he's coming from. Cesc Fabregas understands where the pain is coming from with that club back. So this is it for me. As far as I'm concerned, since the inception of football, a midfielder is as important as a striker. There are very few strikers in the world of football that can do it all on their own. The first person that comes to mind is Ronaldo, the phenomenon, the Brazilian Ronaldo. He was one of those few strikers who could do it all. After Ronaldo, which other striker comes to mind? The only person that probably seems that is trying to come close to that is probably Erling Haaland. That is the only person that I can see that from the halfway line can do it all on his own. Pace, precision, power, finish. That's what we're looking for from strikers who can do it all. But then when we then think about the greatest of the greatest strikers, they had great players around them. Ronaldo, even the Brazilian Ronaldo said himself, he felt like Ronaldinho was better than him because Ronaldinho could make everyone sit on the floor. And at the end of the day, still drop a pass. Exactly. There was a Rivaldo for Ronaldo.
Talents.
There was an Adriano, there was a Kaká, there was a Zé Roberto, there was a Juninho Pernambucano, there was Zé Roberto. I mean, the list goes on and on and on and on. Ronaldo played with world-class midfielders. He played with Figo, he played with Zidane. I don't know why you guys
mentioning Brazilians. It's normal for Brazilians to be extra talented. I feel you.
Okay, now.
Okay, the truth. Sorry, Chimamaka, sorry to cut you short, but then the point I'm trying to make is that a great striker is made because of great midfielders. It's as simple as that. You take a look at the likes of the Inzaghi's, the Ruud van Nistelrooy's.
Just to come home as well. In Tunisia '94, Yekini had an Olise.
Exactly. Now you're talking.
Yes, Finidi George.
Personally, from a personal point of view, playing football competitively to my last year in university, I don't ever remember being on a team that did not have a good striker and an exceptional midfielder. The best players on all the teams I ever played in, they were all midfielders, not even the strikers. The strikers, fine. The strikers will get the golden boot, quite all right. But then even sometimes, it's not every time that the striker is the one that gets the golden boot. Sometimes the person that gets the golden boot is a midfielder, is a playmaker. So, I mean, 9 times out of 10, it might just be a striker. Maybe once every 2 years, it's a midfielder that actually gets the Golden Boot award. So, as far as I'm concerned, if I even want to tilt to anyone in particular, I would even tilt to the midfielder because the midfielder makes everything happen.
True.
The striker is just there for the finishing touch. True. And just like I said, there are only very, very few strikers who can do it on their own.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, that's good. In addition to what Ope said, well, if they have carved out a particular trophy or maybe recognize midfielders, we wouldn't be saying what we're saying. I don't know if you get, because as it is since the stats came about, you see in every game there are stats of players and how they perform on the pitch, amount of passes, create those things. We know what I'm talking about. If they have carved out a trophy for that, we wouldn't be saying what we are saying.
True,
because these guys are actually smart. In my own opinion, I can categorically tell you that the smartest set of players are the midfielders, not the striker.
True.
Exactly.
Because without them, you cannot see a striker. Lampard was a midfielder, but he was exceptional. I don't know if you understand.
Yeah.
He was exceptional. Yeah. Messi started as a midfielder. Ronaldo started as a midfielder, but these guys were, at least in this generation, they are exceptional.
Let me remind you, Frank Lampard is the record goal scorer in the Premier League for Chelsea Football Club.
Mm-hmm.
And that just goes to show how exceptional of a midfielder he was. Then I want to remind you of something. Let me take your mind back to Pep Guardiola's Barcelona side. The most important players, they are not the strikers. In Pep Guardiola's team, there was a Samuel Eto'o, there was an Idol Johnson, there was a Thierry Henry, there was a Zlatan Ibrahimovic, there was a Xavi. But then the names that make the rounds, Xavi, Iniesta.
Exactly.
So, I mean, now Micheal Owen should have thought properly before, coming up with that.
Well, without due respect to Micheal Owen, I think he's trying to, what's the word? Rep the strikers. But we've said it all. I think they've said it all. There's a balance between both. Midfielders as well, they have a role to play. The strikers too, yes, they have a role to play. And they all go pari passu, like they say. I think that's what makes football interesting, because if you don't have midfielders, who's going to score? Who's going to give you the assist? Going back to the Manchester United days, you had a Van Nistelrooy, you had a David Beckham, you had a Van Nistelrooy, you have a Scholes, you have a Vieira, you have a Dennis Beckham, you have a Henry giving the passes. Even, we've mentioned several examples. So I think Micheal Owen, yes, you're the greatest G, but, we don't say our own here. Going back to this pundit, you saw their team of the season. I guess you guys saw it.
Yeah,
Gary Neville and Jamie Carragher. So let me just run through. I think I shared the link with you guys. You guys can I shared it with you just now. For Gary Neville, he has Mendy. He has Mendy as goalkeeper. He has Walker right back. Diaz, Maguire, and Luke Shaw. Fernandes in the midfield. Gundogan and De Bruyne. In the striking position, he has Rashford, Kane, and Foden. So for Jamie Carragher, he has Martinez of Aston Villa. That's Kufal of Aston Villa. No, sorry, West Ham. Right back. Stones, Diaz, Luke Shaw, and he has Fernandes, Conte, De Bruyne, and he has Son, Kane, Foden. I know this cost it cost a bit of stir during the week, but I just want us to touch on it as well.
Yeah, I would counter Gary Neville well. I'll counter him wide as the Manchester United fan.
Two of those guys shouldn't be United.
Exactly, because I saw his own top 11, and I saw so much bias in it. If you watch this season, there are so many guys you're going to scrap out of the entire.
I think he has four Manchester United, five Manchester City.
I wouldn't consider a Rashford up front this season.
Never. What happened to Mo Salah?
But I don't know if you understand. I wouldn't consider him for nothing this season. Now, Gary Neville Jamie Carragher in his own lineup. Well, I saw a little of the football, and I saw a little of the English love. I don't know if you understand. Yes, I saw a little of football. He was not as biased as Gary Neville, but I also saw the English attachment there in that squad. There are players that I cannot start mentioning.
Kofol, is he English?
No, he's not. He's not.
No,
he's not. No, he's not. But I would. According to Jamie Carragher, yes, I can still accept his own because there was no. His season was better than Gary Neville. The bias there wasn't. It wasn't.
I go with Jamie Carragher.
I go with Jamie Carragher, but that of Gary Neville, it should be scrapped because I don't think the guy actually thought about it before he put the level together. I just woke up and said something and felt he had said something. That guy needs to be sanctioned.
But looking at both team of the season for Jamie Carragher and Gary Neville, there's one player that comes in for me in the defense. Diaz, Ruben Diaz, no.
Ruben Diaz.
Ruben Diaz. Would we say Ruben Diaz was just that holy grail for Guardiola in his defense? You know, we talked about it in our previous episode of the podcast that Guardiola haven't spent over 450 million pounds. That is equivalent to the defense academy of the defense of which country? I think they just opposed it, and they said that amount was equal to the budget of a country's defense. I think the army or something. And we know how Guardiola has fought so hard to stabilize that defense. But let's talk about Ruben Dias. Is it that guy that has done it, that has stabilized the defense for Manchester City?
Yeah, I mean, for me, okay, Dipo, go on.
Well, I was not even referred to what you said.
Well, he has been
when Ope was talking.
Sorry, Chimamaka, let Dipo move on. Let Dipo move on. Dipo can continue, don't worry.
So when when we're talking about the Man City winning the league, Ope was like Guardiola should get the credit for it. After Guardiola, I think it's Ruben Dias. It was like the missing piece. Then maybe we can say company has finally been replaced.
Yeah.
Because when Laporte got injured last season, it affected them a whole lot. Getting into their stride and all, it was hard for them to get the title. But Diaz has come in, and the way he blended, the way he took into the team immediately, kudos to him. Mm-hmm. Some players would have needed about half of the season. Even the great Nemanja Vidic needed half of the season to become a superstar in Manchester United. But he picked up immediately and he's shown that, yes, I'm the missing piece in this puzzle. So, yeah, Diaz, no hype, nothing. He's been a very good addition to the squad for Manchester City.
You know, at the beginning of the season, Chimamaka, Diaz, it took him a while to stabilize. That I knew some were even saying, I hope this is not a waste that Guardiola has gone through. You know, just to piggyback a bit, I'm not taking anything away from what Dipo said. You know, just to piggyback a bit on the way he started. Would we have seen Ruben Dias to be this instrumental for Manchester City?
Now, I would answer that question. Why would I answer it? Now, I'll answer it this way. In Benfica, before he joined Manchester City, he has captained the under-17, he captained the under-15, he's captained the under-17, he got on to captain even the starting 11 of Benfica, the senior team. So this guy has had it a long time ago. All Guardiola needed was to nick him off Benfica, and he did that. Now, settling into England, we know how the EPL is. If I must tell you, he's in my since I started watching the EPL, he's one of the first defenders to start up early and key into the tussle, the hustles and the bustles and the physicality of the EPL faster than any other person. So Ruben Dias, we said the first 1, 2, 3 games he was trying to get himself, but that was not just him. It was the whole Manchester City team who were trying to get themselves. But eventually, when they picked it up, that guy has taken how many man of the match trophies? The guy has been something else. In fact, as Dipo said, he has been the missing piece of the 1-something billion that Guardiola has spent. To be sincere, because if you can get a Ruben Dias and in one season you have been longing to play in the Champions League finals and he has gotten into the Champions League finals, then he has been the missing piece because they spent a whole lot. They spent a whole lot. Yeah, and as Dipo also said, he has come in to replace Company's problem in the final years of his career was the injuries here and there. We only hope and pray that Ruben Dias doesn't fall into that category so soon. That is due to the fact that the EPL is very physical. You can get a knock that will send you out for the rest of the season. We know, as Ope will tell you, I love Liverpool. Van Dijk has suffered it, so we know how he has been. So we only pray and hope that he doesn't get into that injury.
I'm not praying. I don't know what prayer I pray. I'm not praying anyway. I'm a Manchester United fan. I don't care. I don't want him fit.
But
Can you imagine?
Ope, looking at it's 24 years. Ruben Dias is 24, so he has like, let's say, 10 more years. Solid 10 more years to play active football. And he's been muted as the player of the season for the EPL. I don't know how true that is, or I don't know if my stat serves me right. But would he have been that kind of defender Arsenal would have cherished to have? Ope, you being the Arsenal fan.
No, he's a Liverpool fan.
I mean, it's a no-brainer. That question is a no-brainer. Ruben Dias is a player that can walk into any team and make that team better. I mean, Chimamaka just put the icing on the cake for me as far as I'm concerned. If it took Guardiola over £2 billion to spend, and he finally got this last player, and adding this last player to the squad, he got up to the Champions League final, which I've been longing for. It's a no-brainer. Ruben Dias was the missing piece to Manchester City's dream team. It's as simple as that. So Ruben Dias, I feel, is too good of a player to even play for Arsenal Football Club. At this moment, he's too good of a player to be in that Arsenal team. In fact, Arsenal don't deserve to have a player like Ruben Dias. So it's that simple. And then there's something about this guy. You said he's 24. Mind you, he just turned 24 yesterday. So
he's 24.
Yes, so he came into the Premier League as a very young lad, 23 years old, different country for the first time in his life, away from his family. But you know what? The boy is brilliant. Coming up through the ranks, he built himself up mentally, and then you could just see that he stands out from his peers. Just like Chimamaka said, he captained every team that he played for at every age grade level for Benfica. And then he made his debut for Portugal at the age of 22. So even as a centre back, while we had the likes of Pepe, Bruno Alves, and Jose Fonte in that mix already, that just goes to show you the type of player he is. And why Portugal, where they could be brave enough to put him in that squad, because yes, he could play with the big boys. So he has learnt under the likes of the great Luisao, and obviously David Luiz when he was at Benfica as well. Yeah, so he's a student of the game. Now let me tell you another angle to his game. He made every player around him better. That is one thing about Ruben Dias. He made every single player around him better. As far as I'm concerned, he's the bedrock for the change of fortunes for John Stones. He's a reason why Alexander Zinchenko has so much confidence going forward now that he came back from injury. Previously, Manchester City fans had criticized Alexander Zinchenko for only knowing how to play just up on the pitch and not defending well. But with someone like Ruben Dias in the team, Zinchenko can do whatever he wants. He can easily float in the midfield position. Same thing with Joao Cancelo. Ruben Dias is the only player that has played with every centre-back at Manchester City currently. With Ruben Dias, Laporte can stay on the bench comfortably. Laporte can afford not to play a Manchester City game, and Manchester City will be fine. That's just going to show you how immense
that's another good technical defender though in Laporte.
Honestly, yeah. And he can play. Ruben Dias can play at either side of the defense,
and he can use both legs. I'll be both feet.
So put him on the right side, put him on the left side. He has no problem. A lot of defenders today, a lot of top class defenders today, find it difficult to play on a specific side of a midfield duo. Yeah. Only few centre backs can actually play on either side comfortably. I'm talking about the likes of Thiago Silva and David Luiz. Those are the people that come to my mind currently in the Premier League that can do that comfortably. Harry Maguire as well has shown that over the years he can do that comfortably as well. So there are only few central defenders that can fit into that bracket. So I mean, he has been immense. And then you can see the way the players around him, the way they love him, and then you can see his enthusiasm for the team. Even when they are losing, He's there to charge on his players. Take a look at his performance in the second leg against PSG. Absolutely immense. Absolutely. The last player that I saw that probably put in that type of performance has to be Nemanja Vidic. Vidic put in a lot of ridiculous performances for Manchester United. I mean, going in with his head, going in with his groin, he did not care. The mission is stop the ball. Yeah. Keep a clean sheet. Either he breaks his nose, either he breaks a toe, he doesn't care. Stop the ball. That's the mission. That is
the defenders we have had in the EPL in the past that we've not seen in a long time. And I think
the best thing that just edges Ruben Dias out of the group is just that football brain. You know that this boy is technically gifted. The way he reads the game, his communication with Ederson feels more comfortable with the ball at his feet now. You know, so the boy is like, I don't know. He's just like a perfect mold of what the modern day generation centre back should be.
Yeah, definitely.
So, great buy by Pep Guardiola. I think this is the best defender that Pep Guardiola has added to the Manchester City squad since he took over at Manchester City.
Definitely. Nice take from you guys. Nice take from everyone. But I think, just to add to it, I think the power shift in European football is going back to Portugal. Because if you see most of the Portuguese players, they are making what's the word? They are really, really doing well in their clubs. We see the impact Fernandes has made in Manchester United. Now we're talking about Ruben Dias. Now you could see, I think there's another Portuguese in the Man City team. You could see them.
Bernardo Silva.
Yeah, you could see them out there.
Aside that, you go to Portugal national team in EPL. Wolves.
Wolves. Yeah. So I think we'll look at that episode in our subsequent episode. We'll look at that topic rather in our subsequent episode of the podcast. And also, we cannot just criticize Jamie Carragher and Gary Neville team of the season. I think we too will have to come up with our own team of the season on FootyWit podcast. Right?
Definitely, we should.
Yes, we should.
Can I ask a question? Can I be really too biased in it? Can I be as biased?
No.
No, we have to be subjective. We just have to be subjective. I think we'll put it on our social media platform and let's see people, just see comments from people, from our football followers. Just to round off the podcast, a great game tomorrow, FA Cup final between Chelsea and Leicester City. Is it Leicester City versus Chelsea or Chelsea versus Leicester City?
We are playing each other. Don't worry. It's Chelsea Leicester City because Chelsea is
probably be the home side
to wear. So yeah, exactly. They've granted to wear their home jersey. So it's Chelsea Leicester.
On this one, I would like Chimamaka to go last because he's the Chelsea guy. But starting from Dipo, let's just do a simple preview on this. Leicester City Chelsea or Chelsea Leicester City. Where do you see this going?
Well, with senior man in the ranks, I'm expecting him to score. I also know Micheal to score. I just being a Nigerian, I want Leicester City to win, but we never can tell. We want Thomas Tuchel will come up with.
There's a Nigerian in Chelsea, and Johnny, right? And
he's hurting. Yeah. And Tuchel is hurting currently with the loss to Arsenal, so I'm scared. I'm really scared for Leicester City.
But don't you think? Don't you think? Sorry, I'm not. Yeah, I know I'm an Arsenal fan, but I don't want to blow the trumpet like an Arsenal fan. But don't you think Arteta has given the blueprint for anybody that wants to beat Tuchel? Just do this.
No, absolutely not. No,
there's no blueprint at all. What Arteta?
I think he just wanted to get Mourinho's number that day. I say he wants to score.
God bless you. Let's pointing that out.
That was masterclass defending by Arsenal. I
said it to them.
Never ever seen it before.
That I was telling you, I saw the game with an Arsenal fan, and after the game, I stood up and I shook his hand. I said, I have seen a Mourinho in Arsenal. Damn, you guys didn't pack the bus. You packed a full train. You know what it is? But it was wonderful defending, actually. Wonderful defending.
So, Ope, the FA Cup final, I think Dipo gave it to Leicester City, right? Or he would want Leicester City to win because of the Nigerian.
I want Leicester City to win. I've seen on the first. I've seen on the first on this.
Okay. Ope.
Well, really, I think Chelsea is going to win. I think at the end of 90 minutes, it's going to be 2-2. We'll go to penalties. And then, look, don't worry, senior man and indeed they scored their penalties, but I'm sorry, but
Chelsea win, Abi.
Yeah, Chelsea win.
Chimamaka is so cocky and confident, man.
No, I'm not so confident though, but I love my guys. I love these guys whenever they talk. Well, as a Chelsea fan, I would actually give it to Chelsea. Why would I give it to Chelsea? Credit, no disrespect to Brendan Rodgers. He has a formidable squad, but they will be losing a key player in what's this guy's name? This former Manchester United defender, Johnny Evans. So they'll be a key defender in that, and go for.
I think we lost Chimamaka there. Chimamaka, are you there?
Frozen.
It's frozen. Network. But he was supposed to, rep. Are you back, Chimamaka?
Back, yeah.
I'm here. I'm not going anywhere. I'm here. Loud and clear. Loud and clear. It's my moment. So I'll make use of it.
I think we lost you. We lost you at the Johnny Evans spot. It's frozen again. These moments will be your moments, you.
But we all know what he's going to say again. What we do so
Johnny Evans in that game because of injury.
Okay, he's back.
No, you don't have to say. You're about to say, yeah. I'm here. I've always been here. I wouldn't miss this.
Please don't go again.
Good. Credit to Chelsea because they have every of their players fit for that game. So hopefully it's going to be a 90 minutes game wherein we are not going to go into extra time according to what Ope is saying. A new penalty shootout is going to be sorted out in 90 minutes. But yeah, I give Chelsea 2-1. Chelsea victory. Chelsea win the FA Cup, at least back-to-back FA Cup finalists, so they should win it.
It's like deja vu because I remember last year when we did the preview of the FA Cup final, it was Arsenal Chelsea, so it was Ope against Chimamaka. So it's beginning to look like that. And Chimamaka said that day it's going to be 2-1 to Chelsea, and at the end Arsenal won. I hope it's not going to happen that way. But
then I didn't pray to God. Then I prayed.
So it's something. It's a match we'll all be looking out for. I think 5:15 Nigerian time.
Yeah, no, 5:15 exactly.
5:15 Nigerian time, and it's nice doing this with you guys, man. It's nice doing this. Dipo, thank you very much for coming on the podcast again. We would like to have you in our subsequent episodes. And Ope, I know you love Liverpool, but you're an Arsenal fan. I know you cannot deny that. Chimamaka, the only Chelsea fan on FootyWit podcast. But it's nice doing this. I love this, the football gist edition on the FootyWit podcast. And let's just go back. We need to have our own team of the season. I think we'll wait for the last day of the season so we don't put ourselves under any pressure. I think that last game is next week Saturday. So we should be able to come up with that and see. Let's look for trouble on social media a bit. And let's tackle each other. So it's nice doing this. And to our listeners out there, you please follow us on our social media platform, on Twitter, on Instagram. And you can also listen to this podcast on this platform, Spotify, Google Podcast, Anchor, and also Apple Podcast. And also the vidcast of this episode will be on YouTube. You can also watch. Please like, share, just comment, help us out, encourage us. And we love that you guys do that. So from me to everybody, from all my guys, thank you very much and have a good weekend, Ben.
You too. Opa, easy man.